She's like love, 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 and music. La la la, love, 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 love.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner, and this is my review for The Chi Season 1, Episode 8. It is currently 2:40 in the morning. Yes, 2:40. This is my fourth review for today. So let's just get into this review, people. So, The Chi is such a great fucking show. Like, I can't even, it's just good writing. It's good acting. I love this series. I feel like it's much needed, and I'm just happy that the show is on. So we see Jerica and Brandon basically are waking up at the house together. Brandon's up on the couch and Jerica of course up in the room, and they're kind of getting up or whatever. She's like, yeah, I'll make breakfast, but she just makes cereal. And, he's there in the kitchen, like, laughing or whatever. And he's like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we? Because, again, he came to the house last night to get his stuff. And he ended up staying there after he told her that he quit his job. And, she's basically talking or whatever. And then she's just kind of asking him, like, what his plans are since he quit his job. And he says how, because she brings up how your whole thing was you wanted to get more hours to get more experience there to be like the line chef or whatever, and then you just out the blue cook, what happened. And he's like, I told you what happened, why I quit. He ain't bringing up the fact that he slept with Sarah. He just saying he giving the reason he quit as they tried to make him snitch on Luis, and he leaving it at that. And he says, I just really want to have my own thing. I really want to be my own boss, like have a food truck. But but it takes money to do that, and I need to just get some money. And she's like, if that's the case, if you want to do your own thing and get, some more money, you need to sign the papers to sell your mother's house. He like, well, I don't know about that, because she can't sell it without me. And she's like, yes, she can. So I don't know why you're kind of fighting this. She said, your mother is looking to do something to give herself a new start, and why won't you want to do the same? I drink too much water. And I think when she said that, he finally realized she ain't trying to sell the house just to spite me. She's really trying to sell it to get some money to get a new start. Like, think about her son died, so she just don't want to be there. And she just like, she wants a new start. And I don't think he ever thought about it in that aspect of it. I think he kept thinking about it as she met this man and she with this man and he want her to sell the house, or he wants them to do things. And I think he finally realized it's more what my mother wants to do than anything else. And so from there, we see that he goes to his mom's house and he does sign the papers finally. And as he's signing the papers, his mom and Greavy are basically changing clothes and getting dressed or whatever, because they have an inspector coming out to basically do a house inspection on the house. And it was a cute little family scene of him and his mom kind of laughing, saying how she's saying how she grew up in the house, he's saying how he grew up in the house, and also Coogie. Greavy coming in looking for a thing on aftershave, and even the fact that him and Brandon gets along now. Brandon isn't mean to him every time he walks in the scene, and I think Brandon gets that this man actually loves his mother and isn't like the men that she's had before. And I think it's cool to see that he sees that. And so because of that, you see a ease, or just a his mother seems at ease. She seems at peace because she has peace in her home, even though her other son is dead. So that's the great thing to see. We then see how he leaves his mom's house to go hang out with his cousin Hannibal, who I think is really cute. And he grows weed, and he does yoga, and he has dreads, and I love a guy with dreads. So yeah, he go to see Hannibal basically because he like Hannibal sell weed or whatever. He grows his own weed. He has these different things, and I can possibly get a loan from him to get a food truck. So he's basically saying, hey, what about this? We can get a food truck. It takes about $100,000 to buy a food truck. He's like, $100,000? Like, dude, he like, look, all my money is tied up in these, he can see some more stocks and bonds and diversifying all this stuff that he's talking about. So that he's right. He basically just means he's cash poor right now. But he likes his cousin's idea of opening the food truck. And then out the blue, some Asian dude walk in. And I'm like, where the fuck the Asian come from? And we're like, man, do you have an Asian living here? He like, do you have an Asian man living in your closet? The Asian man lives in a closet. And he's like, well, over there in China, or in Asia, whichever one, their houses or the apartments are really, really small and compact. He like, so for him, my closet is like a mansion. He's like, he got a flat screen, and he like, yeah, he got a flat screen in there. He lives in the closet. I'm just like, what? What? It was so funny to see. The Asian lived in the closet because he had like a little bed in there. The flat screen TV was on the wall. The shelves, he had like shelves. It was just the craziest thing. And he's like, yeah, you have to always figure out how to diversify your assets, or have multiple streams of income, which you do, to always make your, have a high revenue. So you can have a regular job, you can have a side job, you too, where you make money from it or whatever. My t-shirts are gonna be coming out soon. You have different things that you work on to get more income, basically. And that's what he's telling Brand, like, you can't just be trying to work at a restaurant. You need to be, having different streams of revenue and income. And, Brandon said, like, well, that's the point of what he want to do, because he wants to have his own thing. He's just really passionate about how his food is good or whatever. So Hannibal said, you know what, man, I'm going to see what I can do. See if I can, find someone who can help us do whatever, and we're going to talk about it. And then to see the Asian man come back and talk in Chinese or whatever, and Hannibal speaks the language. And I'm like, even though I know it's a TV show, I'm like, that is just so cute. I like Hannibal now. And then he goes into his closet. He goes into the closet, closes the door, because he lives in the fucking closet, bruh. Oh my God, it was just so funny. So from there, we do see his cousin found him a food truck. Now, the food truck needs a lot of work, but it works. He can drive it around and everything, but it has like a clown with a long tongue. It looks really perverted, okay? It looks something about liquid. I'm pretty sure it was some kind of ice cream truck. But Brandon, of course, is happy because it's still his. It needs work, but it's still his. And, Hannibal says, like, I'm going to be a silent partner. Just holler at me once you start making some money. Get the truck fixed up. But I ain't trying to ride in it with you right now because it does look horrible. It's a really bad truck. So he goes home and he showed Jerica the car, the food truck. Jerica is surprisingly happy for him. He says how, I'm so happy about it. I'm going to call it, Bust a Taco. I'm like, Bust a Taco? He says, so it's going to be a kind of a mixture of soul food mixed with Mexican food or something like that. But Bust a Taco. B-U-S-T-A taco. I want a taco. I was going to make tacos today and forgot. I ended up just eating a popsicle. So yeah, from there we see how he's very excited, and she's happy for him. And, he tells her, like, I'm willing to do anything to fix us, because even though I'm very excited about this, none of this means anything to me if we not together, so whatever we need to do to fix it, let me know what I need to do, and I'm going to do that. And, they kiss or whatever and make up. And I'm happy to see them make up, because truly them breaking up was a mistake. Like, she thought something that wasn't true, and he wasn't able to tell her the truth about it. And then he saw her with a guy who we don't even think they was really together. It was just a big old mix up. I do wonder if she gonna get pissed off that while they were broken up, he slept with his married wife. Yep. So yeah. So they kiss and hug and make up, and now it's basically the end of Brandon's story. We see Reg, okay? So Reg is still holding Q in Sunny's restaurant, gun on him, like, boom, dude, sit down. And, Q kind of doesn't even seem worried. And, so he sits down, like, okay, what you want to talk about? And I'm like, Q is so cool, calm, and collected or whatever. And, we're like, I want to talk about the guns you stole. And he was like, oh, that, well, I asked Trice the question. He didn't answer it for me, so I had to get his attention. I got his attention now, don't I? And he was like, you really fucked me over, and, Trice fucked me up because of what you did. He like, well, you did fuck up, you know what I'm saying? You let us get the drop on you. He like, back in the day, if you would have messed up you know, and I was your boss or whatever, I would have just, you know, curved you in front of your old lady and then fucked her. I'm like, Q, would you really? I'm like, Q is not to be played with. And, you know, at that point, they talking, and then out the blue, Sonny hit Reg over the head. I said in my review last week that Sonny was not dead. You know, everybody kept on thinking that he was dead, and I was like, they didn't say that man was dead. I think he was just laying on the floor, and we didn't even really see, my back hurts, if he was shot, if he was just hit over the head, or what it was. I kept on saying, I don't think he did. I think he just knocked out. Like, I think that's what it was, that he was. And so he hits Reg over the head, which of course knocked Reg out. And then Q like, yeah, I can't believe that young blood tried to think he can have a drop on us. You know what I'm saying, Sonny? He turned and he looked. Sonny got the gun pointed at him. I'm like, no, what the fuck going on? Sonny, what you doing? What you doing, Sonny? And he like, you know, I need you to get your shit, get him, and get all the shit up out my place of business. I don't want you in here no more. You know what I'm saying? You get out, he get out. I want you gone, Q. And I mean it. He then tossed their father's whistle thing at him. I guess meaning, if you thought I didn't mean business before, I damn sure mean it now. Get the fuck up out of here. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's a lot to see. So the next thing we see is Reg is waking up with Q was there and Q2's friends or whatever. I can't think of what their names is right now. And he wake up and like, wake up or whatever. And, you know, Reg wake up and he realized they at his house. Not the spot where he be at, his house where him and Jake stays. And then Q gives him a lesson. You know what, when I was growing up, you know, they taught us to never keep your wallet on you, because if someone ever caught you and you had your wallet on you and your license is in it, they can find out where you stay, where your parents stay, where you lay your head. And that's how they are now at Reg's actual house. And I'm like, damn. So they're like, yeah, who you live here with? He like, nobody. They're like, where your parents at? Where your daddy at? Like, he up in, you know, he in prison. Where your mama? She gone. Well, who the second room for? He like, nobody. But he looking at the backpack, because the backpack on the chair, because he know it's for Jake. And Q just like, okay, we're gonna sit here and just have a little conversation. We're gonna sit here and talk and chill. So they just kind of talking or whatever. And basically, for the most part, Q is trying to get information from Reg about Trice and what he got going on. And, you know, he like, you know, to Trice, you already damaged goods. You know what I'm saying? So you just need to make a decision on what you want to do. Because Trice gonna find someone to replace you, and when he do that, he also gonna find one of your own people to put a bullet in your head. And he's like, okay, now what about that cop I saw Trice with? And, you know, he just kind of won't talk, basically. So he like, homie, one of the friends. And when he walk up, I'm looking like, are they gonna just kill him right now? But he walks to the kitchen, and he go in the kitchen to make some damn food, cause they hungry. And what you realize is Q is trying to wait Reggie out, knowing it's someone else here that live with you that you don't want us to know about. So we're gonna sit here until someone comes home, because you keep looking around like you waiting for someone to go home, or you're hoping someone doesn't come home. We want to see who else is in your life. And so, you know, they kind of there. And you can see, you know, as Q was waiting to see who come home, you can see Reg in his face. He's hoping and praying that Jake don't come home before while they still there. He hoping just no niggas stay away. Just don't come home, stay out somewhere, or hopefully they leave before you get here. Because he looking at the clock in the door. Because I think he know what time Jake usually come in, or how late Jake know to be in the house by. And he keep looking at the clock, the door. Clock and the door, but he's still acting as if, you know, ain't nothing up. So from there, we see basically Kevin calling Papa at home, you know, listen to his whittling music, and he's making a gift for his mother as he's listening to some church music. And Kevin like, man, cut that damn music. He like, nope, that's my music. I'm listening to this. My chill day. I'm chilling. You know, what's up? And, you know, he's like, you know, we need to talk to Jake and kind of talk to him, because he, you know, doing some extra shit and we ain't got time for it. And he likes to just, because he brought that gun to the skate rink. And so Papa like, well, yeah, that's true. That's kind of crazy. But, you know, this is my me day. So, you know, I can't come right now. You're like, man, get your ass over here and just bring Jake with you. So we do see, you know, they come to the house and they all sit around just playing games or whatever. And they talking. Hey, Jake, what you been up to? No, nothing, just chilling, you know, slanging and banging and hanging out. Hanging out with who? Like, with Reg. Why, what's up? You know, we gang banging. And they just kind of say to him, like, look, we worried about you and what you got going on. You're doing too much. And, you know, because he talking as if he hustling for Reg, it's a good thing. And Papa was like, nigga, we worried about you and shit. Something he said and he cussed. And then Kevin mama heard him. Like, Stanley, is that you talking like that? He like, yes, I'm so sorry, ma'am. It won't happen again. I'm like, you all looked. He be cussing and fussing all the time. So from there, we see Kevin mama like, I need to go to the store to get some stuff. And the kids go with them. You know, so they all at the store and they shopping for whatever. They gotta get tampons. It was funny because Jake and Kevin had no idea what to do. And Papa like, you know, it's when girls cycles sync up, and he sent all the stuff because he be paying attention to the ladies in his house, so he knows certain stuff. He like, well, I'm gonna call your mama. This Papa called Kevin's mother and said, it's the tampons for you, for Keisha, or for the missus. And I'm like, it was just so funny. And he like, I know it's kind of none of my business, but you know, if you can be just a little bit specific, okay, you want heavy, light, and medium. Okay, you want scented or unscented? I heard the cardboard applicator can be kind of rough. You want the plastic one? I'm looking like it was just so funny to see him do that. I mean, it was hilarious to me. But you know, he get whatever he got to get. And now they're going home. Because, of course, he said to Kevin, if you don't get the right tampons, they're going to make you come back to the store. And now he said, I ain't coming back to the store because I already got in my 10,000 steps. I swear he's hilarious. So, you know, they back at the house with the bags or whatever. And Pop like, yeah, I'm going to go home. It's getting late. Plus, your mom on the phone seemed a little uneasy. So, you know, I'm going to let her have that. You know, Jake said, hey, got to get home or whatever. And then again, I still sound like, what you going to do, Jake? He like, man, why y'all sweating me? And, you know, they're like, we don't want anything to happen to you. And, you know, we just want you to be careful. And, you know, saying how, cause I'm cool. My brother Reg got me. He like, well, you know, Reg can't protect you all the time. You know, Reg can't always be the one to save you. Jake then says to Kevin, you the one who shot somebody? I'm like, you little snitch. Because, of course, Poppy didn't know. So when he says it and Kevin don't say, man, I ain't shooting nobody, Papa looking like, what the fuck don't I know? And then, of course, Jake walks away. He like, man, what he talking about? He like, man, nothing. You know, nothing. He like, you know, friends don't keep secrets from friends. Well, at least not real friends. And he walks away because his feelings hurt. Because, like, y'all two had a secret that y'all didn't tell me as if I'm not y'all real friend. And I'm pissed about it. So, you know, he walk off. So, you know, when he walk off, Jake is not going home. Jake walk in the house. And when he walk in the house, you hear Kevin say, no. He like, shut up. So Jake come in, he sees something going on. He walk in slowly like, okay, what's going on? He like, oh, you the kid that was with him the other day. What's your name? He like, I'm Jake. So he then realized this is his brother. That he not just a little kid with him, they actually related. Which means Reg now has a soft spot. Like, this is Reg's soft spot, meaning if I put pressure on this thing right here, this kid right here, he gonna do whatever I need him to do. And that's the reason why they raided, because they knew he had something he was hiding that would be his soft spot. And, you know, you see Q pick up a knife and he walk up to Jake. And I'm like, oh my God. They gonna kill Jake. Not Jake, Lord Jesus. Not Jake. Don't do it, Lord Jesus. And luckily enough, he just hands Jake the knife and say, put it in the sink. I'm like, whew. Lord, I couldn't take it. I thought they was gonna kill that boy. And, you know, Jake is kind of like standing in the corner in the sink. And then he like, oh, so that's your brother. Okay. So we see, you know what I'm saying, you should want to keep him safe and, you know, at all times or whatever. He then say, he bring up how the cop is a dirty cop. He says Wallace. We all knew Wallace was a dirty cop. You know, he said, you know, yeah, Trice pay him to look out for us or whatever, and then he makes sure that we never get pinched because he's a dirty cop. He says, okay, what about the kid who got shot? Like, what do you know about that? Like, does he have anything to do with that? He's like, man, I swear nobody said nothing about that. I don't know. Like, no one has talked about it at all. He then whispers something into Reg's ear. We don't hear what he whispers. He said, but keep that between me and you. Now, I'm like, did he whisper that kid was my son? Did he whisper Trice is really my nephew and he won't ever kill me? He whispered something because he'd already told Reg that he used to run them streets. And when he retired, he gave it to Trice and now he's back. Meaning, technically, he's the goddamn boss. Okay? But I'm like, what did he whisper? Because when he whispered it, Reg looked touched in some way. Like, damn. But remember, he also whispered something to Reg at that damn picnic party 2-3 episodes ago at the block party. And we still don't know what that is. So I'm like, Q be whispering all kind of secrets and we don't know what they are. I want to know what the fucking secret is. Okay? So he whispers it in his ear. And then he gets up and he leaves. They all get up and they leave. They say, all right, Jake, you stay healthy now. Which means we gonna kill your brother if you don't do as we say. And at this point in time, as he said, he probably is a dead deal to Trice. Trice is gonna probably try to kill him. So his best bet is to basically work with Q. But Q gonna probably kill him too, so it is what it is. But he do say, like, I gotta keep my brother safe or whatever. But it was what it was. We see Emmett. So basically, everything wasn't that much of anything. You know, we see how he is a little bit like on vacation because he does not have EJ right now. And his mom was like, you know, you ain't gonna call and check up on him. You know, it's not number for a mom to just leave her child. And, you know, are you doing okay with her coming to get him? He like, man, yeah, this is the first day I didn't have to get up early or didn't have to push a stroller or do A, B, and C. You know, I'm just kind of taking a little vacation. And she like, you know, there is no vacation when you have children. Like, you need to go check on your son and see what the fuck she got going on because, again, she just disappeared. You should want to know why. So he agreed he gonna go, you know, figure out where she at and talk to her, whatever. So we then also see how Jada tells him she got fired. She does not say why, but she just said like they was, you know, paying me on my hours, so you know it was what it was, and I'm gonna be fine. So we then see that she goes see Miss Ethel, Rodney's grandma, and I think she was going to see her to tell her that she was not gonna be her nurse anymore. But she get in there, Miss Ethel sleep, the damn cornbread in the oven burning. She almost burnt the damn house down. And so she sees Miss Ethel kind of still need her a little bit. And when she was about to tell her that she was not gonna be her nurse anymore, and I was like, well, no, I got a new system to remember how to take my medicine, which makes her not want to tell her. And then she said, well, no, I want to talk to you about going back to church. I'm ready to go back to church now, so that's fine, and I'll see you tomorrow. So she does not tell Miss Ethel, one, that she ain't going to be her nurse anymore, and two, the reason she got fired was her goddamn fault because she helped Ronnie. And that's we then see Emmett out with Keisha, like on a little picnic date, whatever, eating some french fries in the park. And, you know, he see another little kid that's like playing like baseball or whatever. And he like, you know, yeah, I'm going to sign EJ up, you know, to play whatever sport. And she like, but you don't even know where he at. Like, you don't even know where his mama at. And he's like, you know what, you're right. Let me call her. Tries to call her, but her phone is disconnected. He like, damn. All right. He like, you know what? I'm going to visit her. You know, matter of fact, you should come with me to go visit her. She's like, I just got my hair done. She's not going to pull my tracks out. And I'm like, y'all going to fight? Because she's like, she not going to put my tracks out. Like, how you know it's going to be a fight already? But if you say so, that might be what it be. And, you know, she then say, you know, well, next time, it need to be a real date. I'm just like, but if you're in a park eating the food, technically, that's like a date. You know what I'm saying? Dates are just different these days. So, we do see that he go to Tiffany's house. But her mama there. She not there. And her mama seemed to not give two F's about Emmett, honestly. And he like, you know, I just miss my son. I want to see my son. I'm trying to be a good father. And, you know, she like, don't you got two other kids? About two other women? Well, where they at? And he was like, oh, this ain't about them. But if you must know, you know, both of my two other kids live out of state with their moms. And I was like, I wonder if they was going to touch on that. Because, again, they keep showing him with EJ, but they never show him with the other two kids. But they mentioned he had two other kids. So it was a cool thing for him to finally kind of touch on that, saying like he do have two other kids, but they don't live in the state. They live out of state. And he said, well, I do, FaceTime with them every once in a while. She said, oh, so you a digital daddy? I said, a digital daddy? We have a lot of digital daddies in this world. If you think about it, think about all the people who be on Facebook and Instagram posting pictures of their kids who they don't never see. That's what they are. Them are computer and digital daddies. So he like, look, I just miss my son and I want to see my son, just tell me where she is. I can't do that because she told me not to tell anybody where she at. And he like, man, where's my son? And then she said, well, she never told me not to tell anybody where EJ was. So she tell him where EJ is, which is technically where she is too. So he gets to the house and she's in this house and EJ sitting on the floor. The door was open, so anybody could have walked in. Not only that, can anybody have walked in? You know how many bugs can go and get in your house when a door is open like that? Ugh. So anyway, she in there and he pissed off. Like, man, you got my kid up here like that, you know what I'm saying? I want to see my son. I miss my son, whatever. And she's like, you acting like you've been around forever. You only had her for 2 weeks. I had her for 2 years. I work and I'm in school and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I got to pay rent. So she's speaking of all the things that she's doing as a mother that she's supposed to do, and saying how for the first 2 years you weren't around and now you come around for 2 weeks and you want to act as if you are holier than thou, which I completely agree with. That lady been taking care of that kid for 2 years and he finally was involved basically. But I think at the same time, when the father wants to be involved, you can't keep beating him over the head with what he fucked up doing in the past. If he fucked up in the past, he wasn't there, but he's there now. Don't keep bringing up old shit because it's going to just cause more discourse. And she then said to him, well, you can see your son when you pay child support. You know what I'm saying? Because all this stuff costs. And I hope the same way you've been doing whatever for 2 weeks, you're going to keep doing it now because I want child support. I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go with the whole, you can't see your kid unless you give me some money. Because she said, you need to put some money in our pockets. He's like, no, you mean your pockets. So they kind of arguing back and forth. She saying like he can't take the kid. He's saying, no, I'm going to take my son. And they, arguing. She trying to strong arm him a little bit. And then, as they arguing, we see some, thug ass dude with bad table manners coming up front. And like, everything okay, baby? And he come up front, he got an apple in his hand and a knife, and he cutting the apple with a knife. First of all, you a goddamn thug. Second of all, you acting like you want to stab that boy. And I'm like, you hear them talking, and you hear him saying like, I want to see my son. Why won't you just be like, you know what, dude? Babe, let him see the baby so we can have some alone time. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just kind of made it seem like, get the fuck out, we got this is my family. But I'm like, if that's the case, why was my baby on the floor by himself when the door was wide open? Anyone could have came in there and just kidnapped the little boy, but she don't care about that. So Emmett is pissed off, but because he see old boy is basically threatening to stab him, he leaves. Because you know what I'm saying, if he stab him, he can't be a father. So he leaves, and that's all that we see from that situation with Emmett. So the last thing was, Ronnie, what's going on with him. Ronnie is basically alive. Okay, he's alive. He's at Mildred's house, and he's basically paying $5 per pain pill because he all fucked up. And but we see that Mildred realized that he's really, really hurt, that his womb is still really, really bleeding really badly, and he needs some medical attention. So he tells his homeboy, hey, go get Chauncey. I'm like, well, who the fuck is Chauncey? A white dude come on. I'm looking like, white Chauncey? Okay, so white Chauncey, I guess, either used to be a doctor, was a resident, and had the doctor-like skills. He like, hey, look at him, can you fix him? If you can fix him, you get one pill right now, and I get the rest of the pills later. So this man is clearly, white Chauncey is a drug addict. And he's there at Mildred's house because he's also on drugs. And, it was what it was. He then becomes MacGyver and has like all these different liquids and stuff and some salt and some stuff. And he like mixed together something and poured it on the wound, which made the wound fizz or whatever. Then he sprinkled some salt. He was like Salt Bae and sprinkled some goddamn salt into it and then bandaged it and said, leave it like this. And, your body will do the rest and it's going to heal. I'm looking like, well, goddamn, he's a goddamn white MacGyver. I was just like, okay, it is what it is. And I'm like, at this point, everybody getting paid off goddamn pills. So, they basically sitting around and like chit-chatting about what they wanted to be or what they could have been and all this other stuff. I wasn't really listening to all that a lot. I just realized the next morning when they woke up, Ronnie was okay, but White Chauncey is dead. I'm like, y'all didn't kill White Chauncey? White Chauncey then took all the goddamn pills and OD'd and died, and he just there. And Meldrick and the other dude like, oh my God, he gonna be a zombie. We gotta get him out of here before he turn. You know, we can't have no dead body in here. It's just bad. And I'm like, before he turn, he not a zombie. He not a walker. He's not. He's just a dead white man. Meldrick then says to Ronnie, I'm calling in that favor, and you got to get his body up out of here. Like, that's what you have to do because you owe me one. And they then, you know, basically carry his body out. They put him in a car, and they tell Ronnie to go do whatever with the body. He don't care what it is, but just get it away from there. So Ronnie kind of opens up the guy's wallet, and he sees the guy's address, that he has like a wife and a kid, and he kind of feels bad. So he just drives off. I'm like, well, where you gonna bring his goddamn body? He drives the man to his home, to his house. He parks up front of the man's house, the man in the back seat, okay, which means clearly someone drove him home. And he honks the horn, and he gets out the car, and he runs away. The wife opens the door, sees his car, and knows my punk ass husband been gone for 2 days, MIA on some drugs or whatever, and I'm pissed off. But she realized, one, he in the back seat, and two, he just sitting there. So she come out, Chauncey, 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 no! Chauncey dead, boo-boo, and she's screaming and hollering because Chauncey dead. And you can see Ronnie across the street just kind of feeling the effects of someone else is dead and someone's having to deal with it. And it was what it was. So we then see he kind of leaves, and he goes and he sees Rafik. Rafik is Common's character, who is the leader of that mosque that Ronnie was at when he got shot that night. He goes in, and you know, Rafik is like, what's going on? You know, what you doing here? And he like, I don't know. You know, he like, so did you kill somebody? I'm like, well, that's a crazy question to ask. But he do say, you know, how you was here before you had got shot. He like, yeah, so what that mean? He like, look, you know, you can be real with me. You know, it's just me and you in here. So Ryan like, I ain't come here for this. He like, what you come here for? And he was like, I don't know. I'm like, Ronnie, you crying already? So, you know, Rafik then goes into, you know, like, you know, look, have a seat, let's talk. He goes into, you know, when I was 19, I was trying, you know, hanging out with whoever, and, you know, started shooting, you know, a bullet went into the, you know, the house of, into a house and killed a 7-year-old little girl. Like, I took her life away, you know, it was crazy. I went to prison, and, you know, I didn't know how to process what I had done. And so it wasn't until, you know, someone else saw me and saw what I was going through and the burden that I had on my chest, and they asked me the same thing I'm asking you. And, you know, that through the works of Allah, I was able to get past it, move on from it, and learn and grow from it. Like, so I'm here to do the same for you. And, you know, he says, he just kind of embraces Ronnie. He kind of shakes his hand and embraces him. And Ronnie cried from a space deep down in his soul that I think he'd been waiting to cry for years. Because again, you know, Ronnie was in the war or whatever, and you know, who knows the demons that he, or the things he had to do that has affected him to be where he is today. And I think him killing Coogee was the worst that he's ever felt, and he hadn't expressed the pain of what he did. And Rafik telling him what he had done and how he had overcame it, and how he's hoping to help Ronnie do the same thing, because he can see in Ronnie the same thing that he was in himself all them years ago. And Ronnie just accepting that embrace and just like boo-hoo, like it was like a wail of a cry that he had just wanted to let out forever. And it was very therapeutic, I think, for him. I don't think he's gonna be a completely changed man. I think this is the start of fixing a lot of things wrong with him, and I'm completely here for it. And for me, I think that was a very empowering scene. And that was the end of the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to always put your comments below. You can always subscribe to my channel, because he loved me. You can also share my videos. But other than that, I am Jay Lee. This is Jay Lee's Corner. Peace.